Yeah, clearly in control of these last two ball games and just couldn't piece it together at the end. And credit to them, their discipline at the plate combined with obviously the home runs was the difference. I was pleased with the way our guys came out and responded. I knew Whitaker would give us a competitive start. The response offensively and defensively was exactly what you would want and expect out of the guys. We just could not figure out the answer out of the bullpen. We didn't execute in any phase. And those are guys that have and will. Clearly not happening for us the last 2 days out of the bullpen.
Would have been better, but obviously it breaks it now. But have you seen cracks in the armor with the bullpen before this weekend, or not really?
I've seen a lack of pitch execution at times and a failure every once in a while to get the out that you were brought in the ball game to try to retire. In some cases, you try to match this stuff up, and in other cases, you clearly can't do that. I think we had some opportunities where you would think some of it matched up, and we didn't do a good job of at least maybe getting that first guy and settling things down, and it seemed to add to it. Their plate discipline, their command of their secondary pitches stood out. We helped their cause, but that's a good team, and we're a good team. Clearly, to give up the runs you give up in the last couple innings of 2 games in a row is very tough to stomach. You don't ever fathom that could happen. It happened, and these guys will be better for it. They're going to learn, and some of the young guys that are involved have to figure out what this feels like to walk out there and manage the game the way this game was being played today. I've been here numerous times. I've never seen the stadium play as small as it played, and it seems like essentially all of the offense from both sides was generated via the home run. That's part of it. We clearly have to be cleaner on the mound.
I guess just how do you try to get those guys back on track moving forward, and how do you try to cultivate execution in environments like this?
Well, you have to take what you felt from this and try to grind in and apply it, and you look at the video and you dig into maybe why some of the stuff ticked down a little bit. I don't know how accurate this was out here, but it seemed like it was right on. It seemed like it ticked down a little bit. Coming in and maybe trying to do too much at times could have been the case. We need to look at the video from today and really see where some of these things were and try to go back to work. You have to keep working and learning and just trying to manage every aspect of what you're doing as a player at this level. Your nutrition, your rest, all of it has to be on point. And we have great support. These guys are going to be okay. Clearly that was very difficult. You feel for Dorsey, what he just went through. He's got to learn, started most of his time, I believe, in junior college. So coming into some of these situations, we have to take advantage of his stuff. And he's going to have to learn, as tough as these moments are, what it's like to manage your pitches coming out of the bullpen, fastball and secondary pitches. They're tough learning moments for all of us. Those were tough, but we'll get better from it, and we'll dive into the video and some of the other data we get.
Having Game 1 and Game 2 move to that Saturday doubleheader, playing 7 and 8 days, how difficult can that be to manage a staff moving forward with those back four coming out?
No, that's tricky. This is a tricky week. The Tuesday game, we'll have to figure out what we're dealing with there in terms of how we manage pitching through that one. And then with Easter, you're playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So you're looking at Arnold and Leiter and Witt bumping up a little bit. So once the dust settles from this and we're on that bus for 7.5 hours, we'll come up with a plan of how to approach it. And, you're trying to give them opportunities to get some work and try to fine tune some of these things and, get their confidence back in their stuff. So you have to balance when they can work at it and when they just have to be primed and prepared to try to compete in the short duration with a lot of those games.
Obviously plenty of positives too that you could take away from this weekend, and James Tibbs, for example, kind of lost today, but we couldn't get him out. It's been like that all year. It's incredible what he's doing. Can you kind of put that in perspective?
He thinks through his at-bats, and he's managed being pitched very tough. He's managed the at-bats, and he's been patient enough and aggressive enough. That combination gives you the discipline, and he clearly has power to all fields, and he's been a good hitter for 2 years now and probably showed signs of it as a freshman. But he knows what he's doing. He's smart. He works at it. He can game plan. Like his at bats, you can almost feel through the at bat when you're watching these at bats, and he's very talented and diligent and intelligent about how he approaches what he's doing with his at bats. And I was pleased. There were some guys that had good weekends at the plate, and clearly this was playing very offensive. So both sides took advantage of that.